Hi folks, tonight I'm just going to talk briefly about failure, which sounds like a bit of a negative topic really, but it's not at all. It's one of those things that I think if we look at it from a range of perspectives, we'll get a better idea as to how failure works in our lives and how we can use that in a positive way. So Viktor Frankl, who was the founder of the school of psychotherapy that I practice, or one of the forms of psychotherapy that I practice, Holocaust survivor, psychiatrist, and he said this. He said, "What is to give light must endure burning." Basically, what he was saying was that for anything useful to happen, for us to live a life that we would like to live, and all of those things that go into that and make us understand that part of our lives much more deeply. To get to that point, we have to go through suffering of some description, and not just once. You know, any of us that have been around for any length of time in this world know that that's part and parcel of what life is all about and how life is for most of us. In fact, for all of us. So we think about those various challenges that we have in life, the difficulties that we have, and one of those challenges, I would say, is that fear, if you like, of failure, because we all fail. We all fail on multiple occasions. We can fail in ways that are very obvious that people can see. So we might go for a job interview, we don't get that position, and we might feel as if we've failed. Okay, and there are lots of other things that we can look at. So for example, the job situation, we'll look at that. So when I lived in New Zealand, I applied for a job in Canada on the East Coast, and I got right through to the last interview, if you like, and I thought I had done well enough. I'd got the job, but it turns out that I didn't. And at that point in time, I was a bit upset about that. But actually, when I look back on it now, it was an amazing stroke of luck that I didn't get that job. And because if I had, my thoughts would be, well, maybe I wouldn't have gone into psychotherapy. Maybe my whole life trajectory would have been different, and it certainly would have been for my family, moving to quite a remote part of Canada. So I ended up back in Northern Ireland, and that is what it is. And it's been a lot of really good things have happened, and a lot of not so good things that have happened. And so, but by looking at that, by saying, okay, it didn't work out, life is different, but that doesn't mean to say that life is any less good. So that failure there led on to something new, a new way of doing things, a new way of being, a new way of working, of doing all of those things. So actually, as Soren Kierkegaard said, that we live life forwards, but we only understand it backwards. So at that point in time, when I was really annoyed with myself for not getting that job and feeling like a failure, it felt awful. But actually looking back on it now, yes, you could describe it as a failure, but it was part and parcel of life and how that evolves and how that develops. We all have stories like that, multiple stories. We can have stories in our working environment, maybe our family lives, our personal lives, whatever it is. We've all experienced failure. And some of the other emotions that come along with that are really, really powerful, like shame and guilt, those things come up again and again. So failure, I would encourage you to look at it this way. It's something obviously that you don't want to experience. You want to miss feeling that and all those feelings in as many ways as you can. But what I'm saying is that when failure does come, as it inevitably will, there are other ways of looking at it. So we can turn that failure on its head. What is it that we can do now that we couldn't have done had we succeeded in that path? Okay, so that's really what it's all about. And in logotherapy, that's what we do. That's what I do with clients all the time, and trying to apply it in my own life and make a complete mess of it from time to time. So that's what it means to be human. We're going to do that. I'm going to finish though, because this is a very brief video with words of Winston Churchill. And he said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." So failure isn't fatal, even though it might feel like it at that point in time. But remember the Danish philosopher Kierkegaard? You can see things differently when you look backwards, and you see in retrospect how life has taken the path that it has, and that you've had more opportunities as a result of that failure, or different opportunities, and that life is always there, and life is always there for you to find meaning in those experiences. So if you can't change your circumstances, change the way that you look at that. If you can't change a failure, then change the way that you look at that, and moving on, doing things a bit differently and learning from all of that. So I hope that's been useful. Take care.